Hello, this is Sara Perry, and this is Wednesday, the 6th of July. And I'm coming to you today because I wanted to talk about making change, how to make change effectively when we're stuck. We're completely stuck in a rut and unable to see the way through. And often there's many options. Most of the time when we're first stuck, we look at one option in particular, and it's kind of that's the block because we're unable to see any other possibilities. So the first step would be to look at alternatives. If the world was as we were like it, what would we do? Turn that around, change the perspective, and consider, okay, that's my only option. The reason I'm not taking that is because of this. However, if I had that, what would I do? So, for instance, if the reason you're not making the change or moving forwards is a monetary issue, which it often is, or a feeling of security, and you want to move away from a family home, a partner, you want to change jobs, which is just very, very ineffective, very unbeneficial at this point, has a lot of negative projections, is making you very, very unhappy. And everyone around you, and even yourself, are saying the only alternative is to leave. But if I leave, I have nothing. What do I do? Until I get a job or until I have enough money to move into an alternative accommodation, or what if, okay? Now, much of this is because we're living in the future. We're already looking out to what could be the issue. We're looking at the worst outcome because we haven't already taken a step. So we naturally put up our protective barriers. And so often this option, this one-way streak that we're looking at is very much blocked because then fear sets in and then we remember situations from times gone by. It creates triggers in us from from childhood conditioning whatsoever. So the step would be, at this stage, to look at, okay, if I was given a job, which job would I take? How would I do it? So then what direction would I take? So I suppose that's easy. If it's a job situation, you just move to the other job. However, what if you were stuck in a 3-month contract? Then how would you deal with it? Okay, so that's one problem. Let's look at if you were leaving a partner or wanting to move in, away from a very difficult situation, and it made, it was a monetary thing. Okay, so what if you had that money? Then which direction would you take? Now, some may turn around and say, well, I'd move house. But then the question is, where would you move? What area would you like to be in? Would you like to be 30 minutes away from the person that you've left? Would you like to be overseas, far away? Are there any restrictions there? What place floats your boat? What kind of place would you live in? What do you need? How much do you need? Really effectively, how much, if you had it in your hands, would give you that freedom to take an alternative direction? Now, say we've done all of that and there's still this block, okay? Someone gives you the money, off you go, and then you're looking at places. You say, yeah, I want to be in Amsterdam. I want a 2 up, 2 down. I want a lovely garden. I want all these beautiful, fresh energies around me and inspirations and new friends and connections. And you look and you look and you look, and there's nothing in that price range to start with. Or there is, and then every time you go to move forward, you get another block. And you're getting more and more anxious to leave. And all you want to do is push forwards with that situation, hold on to it. You're mind bending your own head into an entanglement. So what then? Then you might come back to me or someone else and say, well, I did that. I had the opportunity, I'm still being blocked. What's the problem? Maybe I've got to stay. Well, no. But maybe it is the mindset, the way that you're looking at it, because you want to escape. Now, the way things come to us are kind of crazy in many ways. If we want something so much, we hold on really tight, okay? We want it, we want it, we want it. That actually restricts the flow. But then considering letting go of that hold or want or need may create a belief in ourselves that if we're letting go of it, we don't want it so much. And then the universe isn't going to provide because we didn't ask enough. We didn't put enough effort in. Well, the only reason we're doing that is because we put so much effort into the other life that we feel we still have to struggle, that we feel we still have to make the effort, more than enough effort. And that's possibly the reason where you're stuck in the situation you are in the first place, because your value is low. Do you see where I'm coming from? So if you have a lot of value in yourself, you do what is necessary, you do it to the best of your ability, but you don't need to do any more. Not if somebody else is going to benefit and take from you and then your energy is drained. So consider all those situations in your life. Are you then going from the frying pan into the fire and literally going from one struggle into another struggle and a battle, and you're just continuing a pattern, even though in your head you're saying, but I've set myself free, I've chosen the other direction, I chose another alternative, Sara. You know, I didn't go with that first direction, I found an option and I did it, and it's still blocking me, so what now? So, okay, let go. But then you'd say to me, well, why am I staying in this situation then? What was the point of all the work? What was the point? Okay, that is my point. What was the point? Okay, so we're talking in riddles. So what's the next thing to do? To change the perspective that you're in. If you've done everything that you can to make a change, then change where you are and accept. Once you accept that, yes, the situation isn't what you want, and I'm not talking about, just so everyone's clear, a situation where somebody's in an abusive situation and it's dangerous. If that's the situation, then you really want to be going for help, okay? So that may be your alternative there. We're talking about an unhappy, unfulfilled life. All right, living in a house you don't want to live in. Maybe you want to move with your partner. It's not moving away. So if you change the perspective and say, okay, well, I've done this, I've done that, I know exactly where I want to be. I've looked at the housing market. I've saved the money to do it, or I was given the money to do it. So why now am I being blocked? And you say, okay, well, I'll accept. I'm going to let go. I'm going to accept. I'm going to make the best of this situation. And making the best of the situation that you're in. And this isn't taking second best. It's not accepting something that's not good for you. It's just accepting that you are in it, you are in the present, and you are living it. So what will you do with it while you're there? Give it love. Give everything love. Alter it around. Change the pictures around. If it's the surroundings you don't like and there's no other reason, you just want to move because you want to get out, then maybe ask yourself, why are you getting out? Are you escaping, or are you moving towards something? Again, then relook at your plan. Are you wanting to go to Amsterdam just because that was a childhood dream and it's as far away as you can get? Or are you just picking something up because it just sounded great because somebody else said it? Is it really what you want? There's one area you can go. There's one lot of questions. Have you done everything you needed to do, as in to let go, to complete a cycle? And that isn't, when I say that, I don't mean, again, accept second best and stay in second best, or, accept the worst. It's about finishing things off. It's completing what you started so that you can finally shut the door. And often shutting the door is forgiveness, is giving back the love, is realizing you feel so unhappy because you have love to give, that you want to love. And it doesn't have to be for the person or the situation, it can be for yourself. But just giving out that energy, feeling that energy, feeling accepting of, okay, this isn't so bad, I'm not going to be here forever. However, what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to go for, I'm going to change this up. I'm going to make this living space what I want it to be. Yes, I want to leave my partner, but in between times, I'm going to complete the cycle with this person. All we've done is argued, and I'm leaving angry. And so I'm going to walk away and not want to go back, and I'm not going to want to discuss divorce, and it's going to be messy. Maybe I'm being kept here so that we can find a simpler way. Maybe I can find a way to love this person even though I'm not in love with them anymore. Maybe I have to find a way of forgiveness. Now, if we can forgive everything, we can move forwards. We can find a clearer mindset. And that often is the reason things aren't happening, is because we're not giving it love. So if you're in a situation right now and you're getting angry and frustrated and irritated, give it some love. Find a way to forgive. Find a way to forgive yourself for not being quick enough, for not having, to not winning, to not being the best that you can, for it not all happening at this moment. Find a way to calm things so that the light comes back on, and suddenly the light of your heart will light the way forwards to where you need to be. And it may just be an alternative that hasn't even arisen yet. That Amsterdam wasn't the thing. That you realised all you wanted to do was run out the door, but once you got to Amsterdam, you've just been in exactly the same place and in an unhappy home. Because maybe you were looking, you'd run straight into the arms of somebody else and repeat the whole cycle. Consider your patterns. Consider why you do things. What's your motivation? You want to be running towards a goal, making decisions that take you further, expand you further. Take the steps to be seen, to not necessarily to be seen, to achieve, to discover, to expand. And if you take those steps, and even if they're little, tiny steps, but they're ones that you have within your person, and they're ones that you can do easily without feeling stressed that you're not getting help, that the windfall isn't coming out at any moment, that nobody's really opening their doors to you. If you use what you have inside to create what you need, like I said, in small steps, if the first, break it all the way down to what is the first thing that you want the most. What is the crux of this issue? Is it just freedom from this situation? So how can you get that initial freedom to then grow? Okay? It's like saying, I'm not leaving this job because there's no jobs that are coming up that are as high paid and where I was before. But if you don't like that job and you're so unhappy, then isn't it more important to find something that at least gives you what you need right now so that you can discover what is the next best job? Or maybe, you've got time, it gives you some time, it gives you some breathing space, it gives you time to heal, but it takes you from that situation. Now, I did talk about escape, and that isn't the escape, that's about understanding the reason, finding the simplest option, an alternative to work with, which is in your hands, and then you're not stuck. So I hope this is making sense. If you want to, so for instance, you want to come away from a partnership and you want to move into on your own, but the reason that you're not doing it is because you're afraid of being on your own, then maybe, and you're saying, I haven't got the money, I don't know where to start, I've always been with somebody before, I've never done this before, I haven't got a job. Okay, so maybe the first step is to find a job or something that can give you a little bit of money or a little bit of something to work with. And then maybe ask if there's somewhere you can stay with somebody for a little while. Ask yourself, how long will it take for me to accumulate a deposit for a place? And how much would I need to stay somewhere, maybe in a house share? You know, it doesn't have to be a friend putting you up on the sofa. How can I make this easier for myself without the struggle, but at least takes me one step forwards? Because the most important priority is to come away from that situation, is to have some breathing space. Now, if you're looking to, you know, let's turn this around again. If you're looking to leave a partner because you're in love with somebody else and you're waiting, you don't want to leave because you haven't got the money to just leave, and then you don't know if that person's free, then really you want to be considering your situation again there. This is a real typical situation when things aren't moving, that you're leaving, you're literally going from the frying pan into the fire. That it's about finding your own love and your own security. So again, accepting the situation, finding forgiveness, dealing with the situation you're in before you move on to something else. And then once you find that security, you understand, you find that calmness, that balance, you may feel easier, and then you'll feel stronger and you'll feel happier. Okay, so it's about changing the vibration. There's so much more to this. We can pull out all these different scenarios. But the most important thing I'm getting at is to find a place where you are clear, where you are in a happier vibration. Releasing yourself from a restriction initially so that you can take the steps forwards, not necessarily releasing to jump a million miles ahead without discovering why, without finishing things off, without accepting you. So I hope this blog has helped people out there. It came to me this morning as I woke up, considering a situation in my own life and having a kind of crazy realisation. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, then please do connect with me on my website, www.saraperry.me. I offer lots of programs and one-to-one sessions where we can help work through these situations. I've worked with a lot of people who have been in very, very challenging places, who are now moving on, who are now getting fresh lives. And often it's just the mindset, and it's not, you know, there's all different reasons. They're not all the same ones, but it's the same fear, it's the same block, it's the same point where I can only see one choice. That's the only choice I have. Or I could take that choice, but I haven't got that choice. Or holding on too tight. So I will wish you a wonderful day, and I will speak with you all soon. Bye for now.